What if you didn't have to think your way into songwriting, but could play your way in? In this episode, we explore how vocal play can become a doorway into writing songs, whether you start with words, melody, or something in between. Welcome to Singer-Songwriter, a space to reconnect with your voice, your music, and the songs waiting to be written. I'm Lainey, singer and songwriter, voice and creativity coach. If you've ever dreamed of writing and singing your own songs, but doubt or perfectionism keeps getting in the way, then grab that notebook full of ideas. It's time to open your voice, trust your sound, and express yourself freely. Your songs are waiting. Let's bring them to life. So if you've been journaling, writing lyrics, carrying songs around in your head, in your notebooks, in your voice memos, on little pieces of paper here and there, but you feel stuck when it comes to turning them into songs, then this episode is going to be so helpful for your creative process. Now, when I talk about singing in the songwriting process, I'm not talking about performing or warming up or getting your sound right. I'm talking about play, vocal play, curiosity, exploration. It's letting the sound move without putting pressure on it to sound a certain way or to become a certain thing. Sometimes the words come first. Sometimes the melody comes first. And sometimes the song is just, it's like a feeling or a bundle of emotions that you haven't quite unpacked yet. And you haven't quite found the words for it yet. And it's through the songwriting process that you can make some meaning out of that big bundle of humanness. So no matter where a song begins, your voice can be the doorway into it. Now, before we go any further, I just want to share a little context, because this concept of vocal play and exploration, this isn't just something I teach. This is something that I have lived and something I come back to again and again. So for many years, my voice existed within this paradigm of pressure. So much pressure. I have a background in opera performance, so I had that classical training that was very rigid. Yeah, rigidity and pressure. And a lot of that was coming from me. I was putting pressure on myself. But you know, the opera world, there are performance standards. There are expectations. There were a lot of parts of that world that brought on this mindset of perfectionism in me. So my voice became something I had to manage, something I had to control. Not something I could let go and just play with and be lighthearted about. It became very heavy for me. And so, you know, the relationship between me and my voice, it broke down. You know, I got so caught up in the perfectionism that I stepped away from singing. There were other pieces of this. I was grieving. There were long periods of silence where I genuinely wondered if my voice and my identity as an artist, really, if those parts of me were gone. But what ultimately brought me back to singing, to music, to my voice, it wasn't discipline or technique. It was vocal play. It was letting my voice explore without all the expectation of what it was supposed to sound like and how to sing properly. And I finally let it be messy. I wasn't judging my sound moment by moment and trying to manipulate it to form it into something I could control. I was letting go. I was letting music become like a playground again. So it was more about curiosity than correctness. It was more about exploration. And this is where everything shifted for me. That vocal play became a doorway to songwriting and a doorway to healing my relationship with my voice. So through that healing, my songs really began to emerge. My singing returned, but it wasn't through force, pushing, pressure, holding myself to an impossible standard. It was letting go of all of that and trusting my voice to come through in its raw, natural form. Letting my voice play is what brought me home to my singing, to my songs, and to myself as an artist. That journey, that experience is the foundation of my one-on-one vocal breakthrough sessions. They are a space where we work practically with the voice, yes, but through that practical approach, we are touching something much deeper with the voice, because it's not just singing better that we're after. We are rebuilding trust in your voice, reconnecting to your creativity, and letting your authentic voice, not only your naturally powerful singing voice, but also your unique creative voice. We are letting that come through, letting that emerge again through play. If you're craving that kind of support with your voice, with your songs, you can learn more about how we can work together in these vocal breakthrough sessions. Go to reawakenyourvoice.com/coaching. One more time, that's reawakenyourvoice.com/coaching. So let's talk about how vocal play can become a doorway into songwriting for you. So like I mentioned, in this context, we are approaching singing as play rather than performing. So it's not about putting on a show, showing what you can do. It's not about achieving the perfect sound. Vocal play is creating sound in the moment without expectations, without judgment, without the pressure. Sounds like just pure freedom, right? Approaching it as play in the songwriting process it really lowers the pressure, which invites creativity. Creativity needs that space to flourish. It needs that open playground to explore, to discover. It's not that you need singing lessons or music theory to begin this creative process. It's more of a letting go and realizing that this is about play. It's not about practicing until you get it right. It's about exploring to see what you might find. So now that we've established what vocal play is, let's talk about how it can help you write songs. So when you are playing, you're going through all different parts of your vocal range. You are exploring different tone qualities, different vowel shapes, letting words come through if that's what happens. You are dancing with your voice spontaneously, letting your inner ear guide you to see where it takes you. And what this does is it bypasses overthinking. So you're not thinking about every note that comes out of your mouth or what it sounds like in your voice. You're getting out of the thinking mind and into the body. So if you're playing with certain words, you can bring the emotion back into it with your body, with your voice. Finding that connection between the feeling behind the words and the words themselves. And it also helps rhythm come through. Like it helps with the phrasing, the rhythm, how it naturally opens up and unfolds. Like you are in your body, in the moment, listening to melodies that might want to come through, words that might want to come through. But even more than that, you are letting the sound vibrate through your body and creating this resonance that is a felt experience. It is a lived experience. Once again, getting out of the head and into the body, where we can really access that heart space, which is, of course, where the songs come from. So here's a practice to help you anchor this concept of vocal play. What you can do is you can choose one line from your journaling or, a phrase that you've scribbled down in a notebook, something that's been playing over and over in your mind, and speak it out loud. Yeah, first just speak it. Speak it slowly. Listen to the rise and fall of your voice, the ebb and flow of the emphasis, how the breath moves with it. And then repeat it like a chant over and over. Repeat just that one line and allow the rhythm and the emphasis and the pitch to shift naturally as you go deeper into it. And each repetition helps you go deeper into it. So you're almost like getting into this state of, it's like a trance. Getting into the zone with this one line. And you're not necessarily trying to find the melody. What you're doing is you're letting the words show you where they want to go melodically. So as you're repeating this journal line like a chant, you're listening. You're listening for where it naturally wants to go and the natural music within that line. Music is a language too, just like your written or spoken language, just like the words. So how can those languages dance together to enhance one another? How can they play together? You can invite this kind of play into the songwriting process at any point, but it's so helpful at the beginning when you're just starting to play with an idea and you don't know what the song is quite yet. You can use this when you feel stuck. There's a part in the song you can't quite figure out. Well, hum through it, sigh through it, use these open vowels and play with the ways that syllables can be stretched over multiple notes. Remember, we are playing. This is not the polishing stage. We're just playing. And that in and of itself is so light. It feels so playful. You're playing with your voice. You're playing with your creative voice too in this same realm. Because the truth is that singing and songwriting and creativity, these are not separate skills. These are pieces of the process that dance together to create the song. When the voice plays, that's when the song begins to take shape. You're not judging what comes out. You're playing with it, exploring it, seeing where it can take you. The voice is the gateway. It's the doorway into the song. Singing and songwriting and creativity, they are intertwined. One may come forward at one point in the process or, take center stage and then kind of retreat into the shadows in the background at another time. But they're all there. You're singing, you're writing, you're shaping this creative idea. And to bring judgment or pressure or expectation into this part of the process is a sure way to kill that creative idea before it has an opportunity to bloom into whatever it was meant to become. So take the judgment out of it, take the pressure off, and just let your voice play. If you're curious what might happen when you let your voice play with your ideas instead of judging them, I want you to try this just once this week. So take one line you've written, even like a sentence you keep thinking about, something that is ringing in your ear, and repeat it out loud like a chant. You're not trying to fix it or polish it or perfect it. You're just listening. And slowly let that chant become a melody. So that speaking voice gently shifts to the singing voice. And notice what happens. In the coming weeks, we will explore how these small moments of vocal play can turn into song shape. And we'll do that together with more guidance, more structure, and space to explore this together. So you don't need to know the song yet. You just need a doorway. And this is one. And if you're in a season where your voice feels quiet, tight, or distant, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. I've been there. And I've discovered a doorway through. Start with play. If that's something you'd like me to walk you through one-on-one, my vocal breakthrough sessions are a space for play and exploration, but also healing and expansion, not just vocally, but also musically, creatively. So if your inner artist is humming with resonance, like, yes, that's what I need, head to reawakenyourvoice.com/coaching to book your session now. Until next week, play on. Thanks for listening, friend. If this episode moved you or inspired you in some way, would you please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or share this episode with someone who's been praying for a vocal breakthrough? Until next time, keep nurturing that song in your heart. Lots of love.